Namaste, my name is Jo from Return to the Self, and I'd like to welcome you to this class. This class is for women who are very close to delivering their babies, so women in the really late third trimester. And today I'd like to introduce you to Echo, who will be our beautiful model, and Echo is now 38 weeks. So this is about the energy of today is really about pre-birth. So it's this beautiful opportunity to really connect with the energy of grounding and earthing, and also of releasing all fear. Now, in these times when women around the world are without the support they may have expected before we transitioned into these new times in March 2020, as we are right now, we are experiencing a real need for support. So where does this support come from? And as a prenatal yoga teacher trainer, I know this support comes from the energy of the earth. So here we are in Bali, surrounded by nature, and we can take comfort in nature and in our own internal voice. So listening deeply to that internal voice, which is Mother Nature herself, which guides us through this experience of late pregnancy and birth. Birthing fear-free is our birthright as a woman. So we're connecting to that inner strength, and that inner strength comes from our own security that we have everything we need. Let's begin, and I suggest you settle into the goddess pose. So Echo's now been in this goddess pose for 5 minutes, enjoying it. So you can either use a bolster or a block as your base, and we stack another block on top. So we make sure that the bolster is right up to the sacrum, and then also place either pillows or another bolster underneath the thighs, so the feet can touch the earth and be connected. And you need to make sure that your neck is really comfortable, so your neck can also be supported by a towel to make sure it's comfortable. So let's begin. So let's take this opportunity to truly sink down into the earth. And Echo, I invite you to connect to your baby, placing one hand on your baby, one hand on your heart, or perhaps both hands on your baby. You can choose whatever feels comfortable, enjoyable, and pleasurable. Beautiful. And now start to bring the breath into baby, into your heart. And send now the deepest breath down to your baby, as if you were sharing the love and compassion of your heart center, sharing that with your baby. And feel that sacred connection between heart and womb, and the love that flows between those two spaces. Allow a sense of softening in your jaw, a sense of letting go in the forehead. Shoulders. And experiencing softness and lightness. Allow each and every muscle to relax its grip from the bones. Let's inhale and exhale to a ratio of 3 to 5. So we're going to slow down that exhale, calming, centering. So we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, filling the lungs, the rib cage. Exhaling, releasing and allowing your body to sink back down into the earth, completely supported. Beautiful. Feeling that flow within you. Sharing your breath and breathing for 2. Or perhaps 3 in your case. Breath of life flowing through you. Embracing every moment of this opportunity to be one with your baby. Dropping deeply into the present moment. And notice if there's any part of your torso where you could breathe that little bit more deeply. And visualize now your baby in the optimal position for birth. And trust. And internally, let's make the affirmation to your baby. I trust you. I trust you know what to do. I trust you. I trust that you know what to do. And feeling yourself sinking so deeply into this state of trust and connection. And let's slowly start to relax the effort into the breath. And then release now your hands. So let's now turn onto the left side of the body. Great. Okay. Just hold that position for a moment. Just feeling supported by the pillows and the earth. Great, and now we're going to slowly start to use your hands to come to a seated position. And great. I'll help you with the pillows. So you can choose a couple of different seated positions. So I know Echo usually likes to sit in this position. But you might find that something like this is also comfortable and enjoyable. But in late pregnancy, I really recommend this position because it feels comfortable. And then let's place the hands together in Namaste Mudra in front of the heart. So we're gonna honor this connection between your heart and the baby. So if you open your eyes now, we're gonna start to flow into our Yoni Mudra and just really embracing this beautiful abundance. And allowing your hands to touch each part of the baby, all the way down to the yoni, and then coming back. So we're creating this river of movement. And you're connecting your own heart to his heart, also her heart, in this beautiful flow. And next time now you can connect all the way down to the earth. And then bring that all the way up to the sky and opening to receive. I receive everything I need. Coming back up and then drawing that all the way down. Beautiful. And then coming back to the heart center and taking a deep dive into the Mother Earth. Beautiful. Coming up, opening and receiving everything you need, and then bringing her back down to the womb space. Beautiful. Back to the heart center, and then sharing your love with your baby and bringing her back up. Exhaling down to connect to the mother, to honor the earth, and opening up and bringing everything back down to the baby and back to the heart center. Let's do one more like that. And you exhale, you find your earth and you ground, and you inhale, you open to receive, and you exhale, you bring that back to the baby and you connect to the heart center. Very nice. One more time. Honoring the mother within. Coming down. Good. And bring her back to the heart. Very nice. So let's bring some movement into the upper body. So we're going to start with the shoulders. And just find a circle with your elbows that feels good for you. So releasing any tension in the shoulders. And taking it, and find the movement that feels good. A small movement, a big movement. Yeah, very nice. And just really connecting with your instincts and so what really counts right now, what makes you feel connected. And then let's open that pose. And then exhale, bring it together. So inhale, open to cactus. And exhale, close. So almost as if we're echoing this contraction and expansion of the universe herself, and also of this journey of labor, opening and closing. Like we're finding the rhythm of the universe, this pulsation of contraction and expansion, and knowing that after every contraction there is an expansion and opening. Okay. And let's continue that flow with the spine. So we're going to come into seated cat and cow and feel that the movement like ripples through your spine. Beautiful. So you're finding the wave of the spine that anchors the body, and also finding a little bit of relief for any lower back pain that might have started. I know many of you in late pregnancy, you will really start to feel the lack of mobility in the back. Beautiful. So now we'll move to our side body stretches and just feel the movement like a wave. So open and create space. Very nice. And as you inhale, find expansion, openness. Exhale to the earth and inhale, openness. Beautiful. And find your flow. And moving into the rhythm of these contractions and expansions. And the breath riding those waves. And this time you can just take a little look over the shoulder as if you were just picking up an object. Feel the stretch in the upper body. And then natural range of movement on the other side as you look over the shoulder. Very nice. And then release. So we're going to turn to hands and knees position. And then we're going to make our way to our cat and cow pose. So come this way. Okay. So really feel that you're starting the movement from the base of the spine and then coming into cat and cow sequence as you inhale from vertebra by vertebra. Very nice. Feel the openness and expansion. Great. And then from the base of the spine all the way to the crown. And every time you're moving from the spine, all the way up. Very nice. Releasing any tension. And it's really very beneficial in your late third trimester to be in this position which allows the baby to be in the, almost as if the baby is in a hammock, and this really helps with creating the opportunity for your baby to be in the optimal fetal position. Find your roots in the hands, so see if you can really connect more deeply into the earth. Very good. So pushing each knuckle, each finger, making a strong connection into your mat. Very nice. Backs of the feet push down into the earth. So the whole position is grounded. Very nice. Great. Okay. And then from here we're going to come into a position to encourage again the baby to descend. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're just going to come down onto the elbows and then allow the head to meet the floor. And now if it's comfortable for you now, okay, you can also extend the arms forward if that feels good. And we're just going to stay there for some time. And this really is one of the most beneficial poses in our late pregnancy, in our third trimester, really encouraging that baby to descend. If you do have a baby in the breech position, then I recommend you don't do this, and that's I'll offer information on another video for that. But this for Echo, whose baby is head down, descending nicely. This is perfect for the baby, really encouraging that descent and that apana, the downward flow of birth, the birthing energy of really downward flow. Beautiful. How's that feeling, Echo? Yeah. And you can stay here for however long is comfortable. So if you do have a lifestyle where you're sitting on the sofa or you're sitting in a chair for an extended period of time, I recommend you do this in the final trimester of pregnancy. You do this at least 3 to 4 times a day, and you're staying for however long is comfortable for your body. So it could be 2 minutes or 3 minutes. If you have any neck pain, you know, perhaps come out of the pose. Okay, so final few breaths, and really see if you can breathe into the back of the body. Beautiful. That's exactly right. So you're sending the breath in as if you're inflating the kidneys and really expanding. And this is a beautiful birthing position. So birthing 101, if your pelvis is wide and open, you have 30% more space for birthing. And there are many, many active birth positions which I recommend. And this is a really nice one. You could also use pillows underneath you to support you, or the birthing ball is beautiful. Okay, great. So let's start to come out of this position. Okay, so we're just going to come back onto the hands and knees position, and now I'll show you how to transition to standing from here. So we're going to place the heels and tuck the toes under, and then we're just going to slowly start to pad back, and we'll come to kneeling on the thighs, and we're coming up. Great. So that's a very nice way to transition when you're in late pregnancy, to come from down to up. Okay, great. So I'm gonna take the sarong, but you can stay on the mat. Okay, great. And let's start again to return to this journey of connection, and have the feet nice and wide. So in late pregnancy, always be aware that your stance should be wide, and see, even if you can spread the toes, create that sense of grounding and earthing into the earth. And it's especially important if you're living high up in a flat, that you really connect to the nature. We're lucky to be able to be surrounded by this beautiful nature. Okay, and we're going to travel now through the Pancha Kosha sequence to connect to all layers of the self. So we're going to start by just a really gentle movement in the hips, as if you're going to make a circle with the hips. So we're rotating the pelvis, and really feel that your connection to the earth, your connection to your sense of smell, which is so beautiful in pregnancy, so accurate, so intense. And this is your earth element, the sensation of connecting deeply into Mother Nature herself. Good. Okay. It's almost as if you're diving into nature. So you're taking a deep dive into the earth and feeling that you're supported and held. And no matter who is there in your birth, the nature sustains and holds you. And we're much more powerful than we think. If we truly connect to the support being nature herself rather than anyone, any location. Beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to add a mantra. So now we've done this before. Okay. So the mantra is Ma, Aham, Aham, and then we introduce each element as we move through the body. So Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, connecting to the earth. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, grounded, rooted. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, I have everything I need. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, sense of smell. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start with the Earth Mudra. So the Earth Mudra is the ring finger connecting to the thumb, okay? And we're going to bring the Earth Mudra down to our Muladhara, Earth Energy Center, and then find the connection to the Earth through the legs. So the legs are the Earth element. And then we'll add the mantras. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, connecting to the Earth. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, to the element of smell. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham, I am supported. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anaham. And let's change the mudra to connecting the thumb with the little finger, the element of water. And let's flow into our right side body. Ma, Aham, Aham, Pranayama, energy, body. Ma, Aham, Aham, Pranayama, flowing like water. Ma, Aham, Aham, Pranayama, and coming back to center. And let's flow on the opposite side now. So Ma, Aham, Aham, Pranayama, Ma, Aham, Aham, Pranayama. One more time. Ma, Aham, Aham, Pranayama. And then bringing her back down. And let's move to our fire element. And we're going to draw that fire element all the way down to the earth. Ma, Aham, Aham, Manaha. All the way up. Ma, Aham, Aham, Manaha. Burning all the thoughts down to the earth. Ma, Aham, Aham, Manaha. Ma, Aham, Aham, Manaha. And one more time, allowing the thoughts to be absorbed by the earth. Ma, Aham, Aham, Manaha. And we're going to bring the hands to the floor and then just comfortably drop down to kneeling position. Okay, and now we're gonna do Arganaraz Mudra, which we did last week. And if you need now, if you feel you want to kneel on the, so you can also use now to make yourself comfortable. Just make sure you have your knees comfortable. Okay, so we take the index finger into the tip of the thumb, and we're going to join the last two fingers. So the little finger is free, and we join the last two fingers, the middle finger and the index finger to the thumb. Okay, and do that on both sides. Okay, and then we're going to bring that energy into the heart center. Okay, and now we're going to work into the intuitive body. So really listening to everything you can feel. Okay, and we're just going to take this little beautiful little action with a hand. Okay, and this is Anandam, Vijñaham. Sorry. Ma aham, aham Vijñaham. Ma aham, aham Vijñaham. Everything you feel. Ma aham, aham Vijñaham. 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 And then relax your hands. Okay. So now we're going to root ourselves to the earth, but we're also going to bring the energy of the heavens down into the crown of the head. So we're going to use the lotus mudra, and the chant is Anandam, so the body of Anandam. Yeah, so Ananda, the bliss body of ourselves. Okay, so as we're just going to make sure you have enough space. I'm going to change over to the bolster, so I have something to lean on. Okay, or you can just use the mat. Okay. Ma aham, aham Anandam. Ma aham, aham Anandam. So you're arsing and crowning. Ma aham, aham Anandam. Okay. Ma aham, aham Anandam. And then I'm going to remove the bolster, and we're going to come down all the way to the earth. So we're going to find that deep connection to all that is, and this is Sarvam. Space for the baby. Ma aham, aham Sarvam. Ma aham, aham Sarvam. And if you're able or you feel to connect the head to the earth. Ma aham, aham Sarvam. Ma aham, aham Sarvam. And then bring the hands together all the way back up. Good, and let's hold that energy to the heart, and we'll chant simply aham. Ma aham, aham, aham. Ma aham, aham, aham. Ma aham, aham, aham. Ma aham, aham, aham. And just allow the vibration, relax the hands wherever you feel comfortable. So now we're going to be practicing for release during birth. So I would encourage every woman to really find their voice during the birthing moment. And nobody actually knows what kind of sounds or what kind of expressions are going to suit them at birth. But it's a really good idea to practice and to really just feel that you have complete, you are completely free to fully express yourself during the birth experience. And whatever that means, in order to be able to empower your birth experience, it's simply about owning your voice and making the sound that really feels right. So through my own personal birthing experiences, I'd like to share what really worked for me and what I know has worked for some people. And Echo, I'm just going to encourage you then to practice according to what flows out of you and what really feels like a release for you right now. So we'll have some fun, basically. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use the birthing ball. We're going to obviously we're going to make sure that the birthing ball is positioned in a way that feels comfortable. So yeah, we're going to get into this. Remember, very important to remember, and I'll just remind you that when we're birthing, really what we're looking for is any position that keeps the pelvis open. Any position where you're in this position. So we'll start now with this position with the ball, okay? So I'm just going to give you some ideas of how it might feel to completely express yourself in this position. And what we really need to understand about our physiology is that our pelvic floor muscles, which are the muscles of our vagina, and the muscles of the throat, they actually have a parallel. They're kind of mirrors of each other. So when we have the traditional lying on your back screaming situation, this is physiologically inappropriate for birth. So the best thing that we can do for ourselves is find, instead of finding the kind of ah or ah type of sound, I really would encourage you to find that primal sound. So this is kind of primal howling. So in my personal experience, I would describe it as literally becoming a wild animal. And if you read any of Ina May's book, she would say, you know, it's just let your monkey do it. That's her quote. Just let your monkey do it. So you literally, you throw away all embarrassment and all a sense of being watched, and you just literally go into your cave. Okay. So I'm just going to show you what it might look like, and then Echo, you're going to really feel free and open in this beautiful garden to really tune into the sound that feels good for you right now, okay? So first of all, you can start with a little bit of movement, and this kind of movement, the pelvic rotation, it will really help to just to give you that sense of release, okay? And then finding those deep sounds. And the sounds will come freely, okay? So, Echo, I'm now inviting you to enjoy a bit of fun. And, you know, children would really enjoy this too. So if you have a toddler, I'm sure they'll enjoy this. Good. How does that feel for your knees? Is it feel comfortable? Yeah. So you're just allowing yourself to let go. Beautiful. Really let go and release, knowing you are supported. Beautiful. There is nobody watching. Allow the sound to come out. I am capable. I am releasing. Find the deepest sounds. Explore. Beautiful. And this is a beautiful opportunity to practice with your birth partner so they can get used to you connecting to their primal energy within and have some fun. Beautiful. The throat and the pelvic floor are so deeply connected. The throat and the pelvic floor are just mirrors of one another. So when you release in the throat area, you're sending a signal to your pelvic floor just to let go. Okay, beautiful. Very nice. So beautiful. So beautiful. Beautiful. Let it go. Fine. Enjoy. Beautiful. So now we're starting to release for the final time. So nice. Beautiful. Oh my God. It's like shivers down the spine. This is the sound of birth, okay? So if you're wondering, the birth is not this is birth. Beautiful. Okay. So this is what really fills me with so much energy. Knowing the birthing mother is so empowered to let it go. And this is all she needs. She just needs to be in a safe place that she can just express herself. And then slowly, Echo, we're going to start to come back. So just to position yourself some time just to allow those waves just be absorbed. I'll put this in. A little moment of silence. Great. Wonderful. Let's connect to the baby. And how do you feel when you know you can do whatever your intuitive voice tells you? How do you feel when you know you are safe? You are supported through your own freedom of expression. You're supported by the earth herself. Just creating that full protective bubble just to be yourself, knowing it doesn't matter who is there, where you are. We take a deep dive into ourselves and just let go. Let go of any need for any outcome and just fully trusting you'll be where you need to be with the people you need to be with. Great. So let's just release the position, and then we're going to do one more thing. So again, we'll come into a standing position just through this backward padding. So we're just going to pad ourselves back. So it's nice to support with your arms and your thighs, and then you can slowly roll up. So, okay. So we're going to do one release, and this might really help when you're really in that active labour too, and you can also add the vocalization at any point. So we have these poles, but ideally you're probably going to use a wall for for this, and have your hands shoulder apart. But it doesn't matter. We're going to use the pole today. So what I'd like you to do is to come into like a 90-degree position. So again, this is, you can see, this is almost as if this is the pregnant woman, because the sacrum does actually come out in a huge bump. So my microphone is like the pregnant woman's sacrum. So yeah, and this is the transition into actual third stage labour. So, okay, so we're going to come into this position, okay, and really work on feeling that sense of openness in the pelvis. Okay, I'm going to stay there for a few moments. Just finding a comfortable position. Great, yeah, that's it. And the legs can be hip distance apart or wider, your choice. Great. And if you can see Echo now, her pelvis is now in this beautiful open position. Really, anytime the pelvis is in this position, it's a beautiful birthing position. So intuitively, women will come into this position. How does that feel for your back?
Very easy.
Yeah, for a lot of women, you're going to start to feel this pressure. And now, for your birthing partner, your doula or midwife can now really help you with a release, okay? So I'm just going to come and offer some support. And women during birthing will really feel this incredible pressure in this part of the body. And it's very noticeable and very much part of the process. So this is not something to worry about, but you can offer some relief in that with this kind of gathering together movement. How does that feel for you? And this would be what your partner would offer during labour, but for actual labour, we can come a little bit more comfortable. So now we're going to come to the wall and come closer to the wall and lean into the pole. So you have you're just really asking the pole for full support of your body now, and still having the legs in the open position. And then if you come into the same position but closer to the pole, like you're hugging the pole. Yeah. Yeah. So this would be like a traditional. This would be a traditional native birthing position, that you come to the tree and and then you have the baby in this position. How does that feel? Not so comfortable, right? And then again, you can assist with this one. And some women will also enjoy this. How does that feel?
It's good too.
Yeah, so you have this kind of, it takes a lot of effort from the person giving, but this is a downward movement and release. And it really helps during the labour. Okay, good. How does that feel? Right.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm looking in the garden.
A tree in your garden. Although it's a quite athletic birthing position, so you have to feel that your legs won't give way. Personally, I actually preferred the earth-centered position, so you're literally next to the earth. But a lot of people like this kind of active, hanging position. And you can also have your partner behind you supporting you as well. So the partner literally comes behind and starts to, it's more of an intimacy. Yeah. Yes.
Tired.
My legs are tired. We're all tired. But yeah, it's a lot of partners will birth like that because you're so supported by offer. It might be the father, it might not be, but the birthing partner will offer you that physical support, so you feel that you're safe. Okay, and of course another in the birthing pool, it might be this position that you're in. So and then another option for the partner. So Echo, if you just come down to the floor, so you can also come onto your mat for this one. Yeah. So another option would be, and you might have seen, the birthing partner is right there for you. And I should get Eric to come and demonstrate. But yeah, the birthing partner is literally there for you physically. Yeah.
Do I squat?
Sitting in it at that point.
How do
Yeah.
So
I
was discussing with Eric.
yeah. And then you lean back slightly, and the babies, when they're ready, they're gonna come in this position. So, yeah. This is a nice. I think it's nice if you, but it depends on how much physical contact that you want with your partner. I felt I wanted space, but then some women might feel they want intimacy with the partner. So. It really depends on what you feel at the time. I just felt like...
It's a pool also, because if this is the pool side,
yeah.
you're hanging like
And yeah, so also if you're in a birthing pool, which once you reach active labour, which is when you can really feel the surges coming steadily and fully, then if you're in the birthing pool at that stage, you might want to lean, this being the birthing pool, you can lean over. And here, remember, we have our birth 101, open pelvis. So, of course, lying on your back is highly irrational and doesn't make any physiological sense at all. So, great, yeah, great, okay. So just a few ideas for you to try for your preparation. Oftentimes what we actually prepare for looks nothing like what actually happens in birth, but this is absolutely fine. So, you know, really birth is all about using your intuition in the moment, and you will know what position feels good. And many times these days I look at hospital dramas where women are being recommended positions, what to do, where to go, but really if you feel into it, you're going to know what feels good and what you need to do. So Ina May has so much wisdom when she says, you know, listen to your inner monkey, because we know, we have that deep knowing as women that we carry from generations of women before us, but you know, it's really just giving ourselves the opportunity to connect that is enough, okay? And it does help to have some ideas, okay? Okay, so at this stage we're going to practice a little bit of breathing, and this breath is going to be the breath that you might use for duration when you are working with sensation. So when I say working with sensation, that could mean anything to you. It could mean dealing with pain, or you know, if you've been studying hypnobirthing, you'll be familiar with the idea that, you know, really we are literally just giving the nervous system the ability to cope with different techniques. So in yoga, one technique that we use is called the golden thread breath, and it's really simple. So all we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, through the nose, so it's a nose breath, and then when we exhale, we're going to make this like tiny hole in the mouth. It's really just a pinprick, and then we're going to allow the breath to kind of travel out the mouth as if it's kind of like a golden thread, like a beautiful silky embroidery thread. And the purpose of this is just to calm the nervous system down. So whatever sensations are building up and becoming overwhelming, that we just have a tool just a physiological tool to tell our body, I'm okay, and focus on the breath, okay, so we're going to, again, settle in a position that feels comfortable for you. I always sit in this position. Echo's in the cross-legged position, which you can see is really comfortable for her, okay, so we're going to, and you might find that your hands feel more comfortable down, and a lot of yogis will spend a lot of their life doing this, and this is receptive, receiving energy, but as we travel into apana being like the downward flow of birthing, I actually feel that it makes more sense to have the palms down because you're grounded. You're no longer receiving, you're in this downward flow, okay, so close your eyes and just allow physical body to relax, shoulders, the throat, the jaw is relaxed, and dropping into that awareness of the breath, and knowing now that the breath is your tool to allow this deep sense of relaxation. So we're going to start with breathing into the nose, and then as you exhale, imagine a golden thread starts to travel out the mouth. So the breath through the nose, and then the exhale, breath travels out of the mouth. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. And feel the texture and the quality of that golden threads. So the golden thread is silky and smooth. It has the texture of silk, the light, shining golden. And in every breath, the thread travels further and further into the distance. A full deep breath into the chest, into the rib cage, and exhale allows her to travel out and relax, relax and release. Relax the shoulders. Yeah, very nice. And notice now how you feel. And then if you'd like to add on to the breath, you can imagine the shape of a corkscrew, the spiral shape of a corkscrew. And as we breathe out, we're going to breathe around one round of the corkscrew. Breathe out a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, part by part, with a micro pause at every circle of the corkscrew until we reach the end. Find the in-breath. Breathe out through one part of the corkscrew. Micro pause, again, another breath, exhaling. Slowing down the nervous system. And let's take 2 more breaths like that. And the golden thread or the corkscrew, depending on what feels useful. Releasing, letting go and slowing down. So the golden thread breath, you can use this during the contractions. When the contractions, the surges are really becoming overwhelming, this is a very simple breath technique. And many people ask me, what breath technique can I do during labour? And this is the most recommended. Some women might also enjoy Ujjayi breath during the surges as well. So Ujjayi breath is calming, but it's also energizing. So it gives you it gives you a sound for the mind to be soothed with, so that the mind is held in this kind of safe container, and you're constantly, through that focus on the breath, telling the mind everything is okay, even though the body is usually telling you something else. Okay, so Ujjayi breath is just a very. So I'm just going to demonstrate the Ujjayi breath. So you are just squeezing a little in the throat. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear with the birds and the beautiful sounds of nature we have in Bali, but you're just narrowing the throat. And I'm going to exaggerate so you can hear me, but when you practice as a pregnant woman, it's not so strong. So. And many people describe this as the sound of the ocean. You can practice this by, you can fog up a mirror, and it's the same, but with your mouth closed. And I know, Echo, you've practiced this before. So what we're going to do is now we're going to practice the Ujjayi breath, and then I'm going to ask Echo which one she enjoys more at the moment. So she has 2 tools she could use during her active labour. Okay, and again you can close your eyes and drop in. So we're just beautiful, you're just finding that gentle squeeze of the throat, and you're feeling this sense of being soothed. And I love Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi means victorious, which I think is very appropriate for labour as we drop into this opportunity for deep connection with the self. So the sound itself becomes therapeutic. The sound itself becomes like a wave soothing you. It's like the pranayama equivalent of getting a warm hug. That's how I would describe it. Good. Make sure if you're an Ashtanga Vinyasa practitioner, you might need to tone it. So we're not looking for, the strongest, most powerful breath. We're just looking for something which is soothing and relaxing. Okay. So just finding your flow, and now coming to the final Ujjayi breath. And let's drop back into the natural breath. And now just come to stillness and just observe. Observe the effect of the practice. It's so critical that now that we create this container for ourselves. The world, it's March 2020, and the world as it stands at the moment isn't helping us to create this container, but we still have the opportunity to create it for ourselves, and no one can take that away from us. So of course, perhaps your birth team might have changed in recent weeks, or perhaps you can no longer travel to support you. And I know many women out in the world, their mothers can no longer travel to their place of residence. So that might be really filling you with, with hesitation and taking away that bubble of safety. But just really know that there are techniques that can really come from within, and you can find that deepest sense of support from within, and really, with the people who are with you, that you can really dig on those resources and flow into this state of lack of fear. And all I know is the result, or what happens in the birth, isn't as important as how the woman feels. So, for example, any woman who perhaps has labour which ends in an emergency C-section, they can still feel very powerful, very supported, and fit, as long as the element of fear is out the room. So it's fear which really holds us back, and these practices, the sounding, the pranayama, and these support systems, and this deep knowing that if we let the fear go, that we're truly empowered to experience what's going to happen. And writing a birth plan is really useful, but oftentimes, things don't go how we imagine them or picture them, and they maybe take a different flow. But the fear, the losing the fear, and it really, honestly, I truly believe that it has an effect on the babies we birth. If the baby is born fear-free, it has an impact on their whole life. On how the baby is birthed has an impact on their life. And this is not to say that if we need medical intervention, there's some kind of failure. But it's just knowing truly that fear, it can be out of the room. And I do recommend, if you're able to find a doula or a midwife who can work with you during your pregnancy, and if they're able to be there for you at the birth, then it does help. But I think in these times, really going beyond who's there, we know the baby is definitely going to be there. No one, and your state of mind, your ability to travel through a fear-free experience is completely within your control. That's pretty much it. But okay. So I'd like to encourage you now to take as much time on a daily basis to come into a deep relaxation. Perhaps yoga nidra is recommended, and there are many resources out there. But take the time during our, March 2020 time birth to really drop into your deep relaxation, and stay really finding that state. Okay, so we're going to bring back all the props and pillows and just get Echo as comfortable as she's going to be. So there are two options you have for relaxation. So Echo, you can either choose the goddess pose we did at the start of the class, or you can come into that left lying position. So remember, we're going to put the base pillow or block, and then, yeah, so better the smaller one for the base and the bigger one for the, okay, and remember remember the pillow for under the thighs, and then shuffle it up. Good, and make sure you're in a space that's comfortable for you. Good. And you see how she does this, that her sacrum's right next to the pillow. So if there's a big gap, it's not so comfortable. And then she carefully lies down. Good. And then I would also recommend you can place some pillows under the arms and hands just to give yourself some support. Yeah. And if you're in a cold country, of course, you might like a cover. Here we're just about reached 30 degrees, I think. So would you like anything over the body, or you're fine? Yeah. So it's very hot today in Bali. So, yeah. Beautiful. And this is a kind of, if you're in Shavasana, then you can choose to lie on your side body and place the pillows between the legs, okay? Okay, and I'm just going to seat myself here. Okay. 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 So allowing now the whole physical body to really melt down into the earth. So to finish our session today, we'll move into a relaxation for 15 minutes. Is there anything you could do to make you feel just slightly more comfortable? Just making those final adjustments. And you might feel comfortable to place your hands on your belly, or you might just prefer to have them by your side. You can choose. And now feel every body part that touches the pillows or the earth starts to become a little heavier. So you're deeply supported by these pillows and by the earth. As if the earth herself is cradling you. And you become your baby, cradled, supported. And feel that sense now of being completely supported by the earth. Allow the mother energy to really hold you, and the mother energy to hold you in her arms. And mentally say to yourself, I am safe, I am supported, I am protected, I am safe, I am supported, I am protected. And feel a softening of your shoulders, and feel a softening of your legs, torso, upper body, shoulders, arms, head, neck. The whole of your body is given permission to land into the mother. Feeling fully cradled by the mother, feeling fully supported. I am safe, I am supported. Any body part that feels any tension, Just now give yourself permission for that body part to completely relax. Completely release into the energy of the mother, knowing she has your back. Allow the space on the forehead to soften, the cheeks, the jaw, the lips, the eyes are settled back into the eye sockets. And the breath flows effortlessly. Feel the breath as she moves through you, breathing for 2. Effortlessly move through you. And notice the softening. The breath is free. You're breathing for 2. And now start to visualize yourself in the place where you've chosen to have your baby. And visualize now the space. And this is a space that feels welcoming. Perhaps there's a picture, an image that you've brought with you. Now on the wall or the tree, which is within that space. And say to yourself, this is my space. I feel safe. This is where I want to be. And walk now to the opposite wall, to the opposite wall. Place your hand on that wall. This is my space. I feel safe. And complete this by walking to the third part of this space, the wall or the tree, and place your hand on that space. I am contained by this space. She is there for me. And complete this circle by connecting to the final wall or boundary which holds your space. She is there for me, this space, holding, nurturing, and keeping me. I am safe in this space. No matter what is happening beyond those walls, I am protected. No matter what happens beyond those walls, beyond those boundaries, I am protected. I am protected. As the world goes on, I retreat into my bubble and start to fill this space with a colour. Choose a colour. And that colour starts to feel the whole boundary of your space. And as it feels the boundaries, it fills the room. And visualize yourself now comfortable. Imagine yourself in that space. A deep knowing they are there for you to protect your space, to keep your space, having all your visions in mind, all your needs known. They know. They are there for you. They are part of your bubble. And visualize yourself now deep in your labor. As your world has transformed, no thought relates to outside of your bubble. You've taken the deepest dive into your own bubble, as if a whole portal had been opened to you that you never knew was there. You have stepped through. You are no longer part of the world outside your bubble. There is nothing anyone can do to break this bubble. She is there for you. And visualize yourself in early labor as you start to tune in to the signs and to the sensations. And take a moment to welcome those sensations. Perhaps they are subtle, or perhaps they're already strong. Stand in your space and say, I welcome you. All sensation I am experiencing is allowing me to open to receive my best. It is rightfully there. I welcome sensation with my open arms. Visualize yourself now in moderate labor. The sensations are strong, but they are not overwhelming. Imagine yourself flowing with those sensations, doing everything that feels natural and intuitive. You are flowing with the tides of your labor. Your mind is truly out of the picture as you trust. Visualize yourself now in the peak point of your labor. The surges are overwhelming, but you are not overwhelmed. There is no point where you believe you cannot do it. You know deep inside, and you trust. Visualize yourself flowing through even the deepest sensation, the strongest sensation, breathing, howling, moaning. You welcome the sensation. This is exactly as it should be. This is what you need. You are opening, opening, opening. You are so close to meeting your baby. And perhaps now, just for a few minutes, you feel a pause. Your waters release. And the wave is so strong. And you are riding those waves. And your baby knows what to do. And you howl. You release. And you flow with the rhythms of your baby. And your baby flows with the rhythms of your body. As if you both were moving in this dance of life. Opening the most beautiful door, like a flower, with each petal falling away. A rose, where every sensation, a petal flutters to the floor. And you ride the waves of the most intense sensations. But you notice you are not afraid. You are glad. You are glad to have opened this door. And you have no hesitation but to step through. You have no hesitation that your body knows exactly what to do. You have complete trust in your baby. You are supported and you are safe. You are supported and you are safe. And you know now that this is her time. This is his time. And you step through the fire. And just like those skilled in walking through the fire, and those people that know how to walk on hot coals, you choose to do the same. As you pass through the fire, you are not burned. And your baby starts to enter this world fear-free, smoothly. And with one final surge, your baby comes to this world, loved and supported. And you bring her, you bring him straight to your breast. His skin on yours, his heart on yours. And you take one look, the very first time you see their face. And your body is flooded with the purest ananda as you know your bliss. You are protected as you will protect him. You are loved and nurtured as you love and nurture your baby. You completely trust your body. She knows what to do. As every woman before you knows what to do. As every mother before you has held you, your grandmother, and every woman in your whole family line as they bring their baby to their breast. And give yourself now a moment to bathe in that energy of nourishment, of nurture, as you find your own personal bubble protected and protecting, loved, overjoyed. And slowly now become aware of your breath as she moves through you. As we start to return to this present moment, observe the rise and the fall of your chest. Observe your baby, maybe observing any movement in your womb or any stillness in your womb. And then start now the tiniest movement of your toes, as if no one can see, just the tiniest movement. And the tiniest movement of your fingertips. And then slowly start to bring a more visible movement into your toes and into your fingers. And then we're going to slowly start to turn onto your left side. And this is always the side which I recommend you turn to as a pregnant woman. And just take a moment to really feel nurtured in this position. And then without any rush, we're going to move into a very slow transition to a seated position and finding the most comfortable seated position. Great. Okay, and let's return to our connection with our baby. And in this late pregnancy, I invite you to really embrace these last few moments together as one, before you become two. These last few moments in this abundant body, to embrace this wholeness, this feeling of fullness, and to drop into each and every present moment with deep gratitude. And I'll chant now the Tara mantra, and Tara, especially the Tara of the Buddhist tradition, is the goddess of compassion. In the Hindu tradition, our guiding star. So we invite the energy of Tara to really embrace us in this protective bubble of late pregnancy and birthing. And feel free to listen or to chant. Om Sahara, Om Sahara, Tu Tahara, Tu Tahara, Ture, Ture, Swaha. Om Tahara, Tu Tahara, Ture, Ture, Swaha. Om Tahara, Tu Tahara, Ture, Ture, Swaha. May you be protected. May you be nourished. And let's finish now with the sound of oneness, the sound of Om. And taking a deep breath in. Let's chant Om Shanti together. Peace, peace, peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So namaste from Ubud, Bali. And if you are looking to reach out for any virtual support, please do check in to Return to the Self, returntotheself.co.uk. I'm Jo. And please reach out if you need any support, any reassurance, any guidance, or any offering from the yoga offerings. And namaste, and I wish you a beautiful pregnancy and a beautiful empowered birth. Namaste, Echoes. Thank you so much for being, for offering this garden and this space.
Thank you.
Thank you.